Hi, thought I would record another restorative class. I have another playlist for today. It's called Sunday Now, and it actually has an asterisk. This is asterisk Sunday Now. Maybe the easiest way to find it is to scroll through my playlist on Spotify and find that asterisk Sunday Now. It's a just over an hour playlist. We'll go for an hour today, but the playlist is a little bit longer. And again, if you haven't found me on Spotify yet, I mentioned last time that it can be difficult, I think, to find someone on Spotify. Going to Facebook and finding any of the playlist I posted there will take you to my Spotify account, and then you can follow me and find all my playlists. So for the class today, the props that I hope you can have, you can totally do this class without any props and modify, but I hope that you can either be near a wall or have a chair, couch, bed, piece of furniture, something that you can put your legs up at some point. And some pillows. Again, we're trying to approximate a yoga bolster. So something, a yoga bolster's firm. I find that when I fold I mean, this is a pretty firm pillow that would work, but even if you fold a floppy pillow, it works pretty well. So hopefully you can have two, two pillows today. And then if you have yoga blocks, great. If not, towels. I've been very impressed with what I can turn a towel into lately as far as a yoga prop. So bath size towels really work well, beach towels, whatever you have, but we'll use those as well. If you want a blanket to cover yourself up with, or for any extra cushioning beneath you, that's always a great idea. And I don't have any socks today, but I always recommend cozy socks for restorative yoga. So all of that being said, we will start off with about half a class worth of just some easy, gentle movement, and then move into some more restorative shapes that will stay in for a little bit longer, each of those shapes a little bit longer. And take this practice for however it works for you. Make it something that you can enjoy, not just the things that I'm saying. So definitely make the changes you need to make and adjust for your body. So if you're listening to the playlist, you can go ahead and start that now. Again, I didn't realize, I think you can actually hear a little bit of mine in the background, and that's not my intent. I hope that I can figure out how to ultimately have some music on these videos at some point, but for now, we're going to start on our backs again. So just lowering yourself down, starting to let your body really just begin to relax. Letting arms go long, legs go long. If that's too much of a strain on your back, you can bend your knees, letting your feet go wide, letting your knees tip in towards each other. But getting into a shape that you can stay in for a little bit. Once you get there, just beginning to let your thoughts settle, letting all those to-do lists, busy things that keep our mind going begin to come to a rest. A friend of mine this week posted a mantra, and that mantra is, I am healthy, I am grounded. And it really spoke to me, especially during this time, because those are the two things that I feel like if I can have, I really have a lot. So maybe those are goals for you. Maybe you feel like you have those things right now. Maybe you're somewhere in between. But focusing on those words just a little bit, thinking about what they mean to you. I am healthy. I am grounded. As we move through this practice, using that as something to come back to, a focal point, something that can pull your mind back to the present moment when it starts to wander. I am healthy. I am grounded. Also, using your breath to help find some focus, some centering as well. Starting to really deepen those inhales, lengthening your exhales, feeling your chest expand as that air comes in, letting everything go as you exhale. Those inhales, pushing your diaphragm down, changing the shape, the pressure below the diaphragm in the abdomen. As you exhale, again, just releasing everything you don't need. We'll do a breath together in a moment. For this practice, we'll do a 4-count inhale, a 4-count hold, a 6-count exhale, and a 4-count hold. That increased length of the exhale really helps to let our parasympathetic nervous system know that it can turn up, that fight or flight part can turn down, and the parasympathetic side can turn up, help us rest, restore, and renew. So starting to take a breath in here, or holding the breath that you have, and exhaling everything out. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. Just letting that breath come back to a comfortable rate and rhythm. Hopefully, a even inhale and exhale, your own 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Just something that you can sustain throughout both the movement and the stillness in this practice, letting your breath guide you, letting it be a focus, letting it be part of what moves you through this practice. Beginning to stretch your legs long on your mat, arms long overhead, letting fingers and toes go in opposite directions. Maybe letting one side go long, feeling that stretch down that side of your body, and then switching to feel that stretch down the other side. Coming back to center, pulling your knees into your chest, rocking side to side across your spine, feeling that massage, those muscles running down either side of your spinal cord, massaging across your tailbone. And then starting to make some circles with your hips, keeping your knees together, just beginning to draw a circle on the ceiling with your knees. Maybe imagining that there is a clock under your tailbone. And as you go around this circle, you try to hit all the numbers, try to press down on all of the numbers in the circle. Once you've done a few in one direction, reversing directions, going in the opposite direction, again, thinking about the face of that clock, trying to push down on each of those numbers. Once you've evened out, coming back to center, letting your left leg go long, keeping that right leg pulled in just for a breath or two here. And then beginning to make some circles with this right leg, letting it fall across your body, down, and then around. And you may start off with these being a little bit smaller and then getting a little bigger. This is a very different movement than those small circles we were doing with our knees up a moment ago. So getting into this carefully. Once you've gone in one direction a couple of times, reversing it, going in the opposite direction. Once you've evened it out, coming back to center, letting that right knee maybe come out towards your right shoulder a little bit, feeling that compression between your thigh, your chest, rolling out your ankle here. I think my cat just wants to be in these videos, although she does tend to come around when I do yoga. She's a yoga cat for sure. Once you've gone in both directions, evening out those circles, letting your right leg fall out for supine tree. So right knee opening up, right sole of the foot finding anywhere along that left leg. Arms can reach overhead for wrists or elbows. Just getting in a little bit of that chest opener as well. Closing your eyes here if you can. Keeping your eyes closed throughout as much of this practice as possible, just to block out that additional external distraction. I'm guessing you can hear my cat purring. Staying with that 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale. Letting your right leg go long, beginning to pull your left leg into your chest. Again, just for a breath or two here before starting to let it fall across your body. Making some bigger hip circles, maybe starting small, getting a little bigger with each one. Taking 2 or 3 in that first direction. And then switching, reversing direction. Once you've evened that out, pulling your left leg back into your chest, rolling out your ankle. Again, that left knee can come out towards your left shoulder, getting into your hip flexor a little bit more, evening out those ankle rolls in both directions. And then finding a supine tree on this side. Left sole of the foot coming somewhere along that right inner thigh, inner leg. Maybe arms coming up overhead for a bit of a chest opener. Coming back to that mantra. I am healthy. I am grounded. Trying to will that to be your reality. Maybe wishing it to be the reality for all those people in your life. Taking one more inhale and exhale here. And then bringing soles of the feet to the mat, letting them go a little wide and windshield wipering carefully, side to side. Just releasing through those hips a little bit, feeling that little massage as you roll across your glutes, your lower back. Coming back to center. And if you're on a surface and your spine will allow it, rocking back and forth on your spine a few times before coming up to a seat. If that's something that doesn't work for you, just meeting us at a seat in your own time. Once you get here, just placing one foot in front of the other, closing your eyes again. And as you inhale, bringing your arms up tall overhead, really feeling that full length of your spine here. And as you exhale, twisting over your left shoulder, right hand coming to left knee, that left hand coming behind you just as a kickstand. Feeling that twist through your spine. Inhaling to feel that full length and exhaling, just deepening your twist a little bit more. Inhales and exhales. Taking one more breath here, and then starting to pick up that left hand, just letting it come straight up overhead and tipping your body over towards the right. Feeling the stretch down the left side of your body. Trying to keep both hips down. Maybe finding a little movement in your neck, but being very careful, listening to your body, not going past any points where it tells you to stop. Starting to come back up, letting your left hand come down, just taking a breath here, recentering, and then inhaling, arms coming back up overhead again, and exhaling, left hand coming to right knee as you twist over your right shoulder. Feeling again the length of your spine on those inhales, and exhaling a little deeper into that twist. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then starting to let your right hand come up overhead, and tipping your body over towards the left, feeling the stretch down that right side body. Letting those inhales really fill up through your right side. Feeling those ribs expand with each breath. Starting to come back up. Again, just finding that center and moving towards tabletop. So letting your hands come down below your shoulders, knees below your hips, finding that flat neutral spine to start. And then on an inhale, letting your belly drop, hips, head, and shoulders rising up. And exhaling, rounding your spine, letting your tailbone, crown of your head go towards the mat. Staying with your breath, inhaling to open and exhaling to round. Maybe finding some other movement with your spine here if that feels good. Anything that your body calls out for. Staying with this for a few more breaths. If you're just staying with cat-cow, inhaling and exhaling to round. Inhaling as you open up and exhaling. Coming back to a neutral spine after you finish out that last round, and then walking your hands forward, finding melting heart. So letting your chest melt down towards the mat, your chin or your forehead coming down. You can use a towel or a pillow if the floor is too far away. Helps to bring the floor closer to you. So really finding that stretch that works for you. In the shape, keeping your hips up over your knees. Feeling the stretch across your upper back, your shoulders. You can bend your elbows if this is too much. From here, we're just going to find our way onto our bellies. There's no super graceful or right way to do this, so just getting there, whatever that takes. And either bringing a cheek down to the mat or making a pillow for your hands, letting your forehead, your cheek come down. And windshield wipering your legs back and forth, bending your knees, just letting them go side to side. Little release for your spine here. Coming back to center, letting your legs go long and sending your left arm out in front of you, straight in front of you, and threading your right arm under. When you do that, letting your palm face up on that right hand, side of your forehead or cheek coming down to the mat, letting that left shoulder stay down. Just getting a stretch through the back of the right arm, a little bit into the right chest. If this stretch is too much, you can get a little bit of the same thing just by making a 90-degree bend with your right arm around your head, letting that left arm still go straight. You won't get the pressure on the back of your right shoulder that way, but you'll still get some of the stretch through the front of your chest. Beginning to unwind, sending your right arm long, threading your left arm under. So this time, left palm facing up, letting left side of your forehead or cheek come down to the mat. Right shoulder staying down. Pulling that left arm back a little if it's too much, or just making it a 90-degree angle above your head. Unwinding from that shape and finding your way into Sphinx. Bringing your forearms down to the mat, making them like the number 11 in front of you. Elbows under shoulders, palms pushing into the mat. Feeling strength in your spine as you do this. I always say that if there's a shape where your chest could come forward of your shoulders, this is where it would be. So really thinking about pulling those shoulders back, opening up through your chest, keeping your chin tucked. The more space you put between your feet, the more space you'll have for your spine. So experimenting with that, maybe sending your feet wide versus keeping them in close together. And then beginning to spin that right forearm so it's parallel to the top of the mat. Your hand will come over about where your left elbow was, and then pushing into the mat with that left hand. Trying to keep both hips down here, but just looking over that left shoulder. So bringing that left shoulder a little further back, a little closer to your left hip. staying strong through your right shoulder, not collapsing down. Releasing that side, coming back through center, and then spinning your left forearm so it's parallel to the top side of the mat. Right hand pushing down, looking over that right shoulder. Again, trying to keep both hips down on the mat. Feeling this down through the right side of your waist into your right hip. Staying strong through that left shoulder. Releasing. Coming all the way back down onto your mat, letting the opposite cheek come down, or making that pillow again for your forehead, bending your knees, letting them go side to side. Again, just giving that spine a little release. Then letting your legs go long and pushing up and back to find yourself in child's pose. Starting out with your knees together, letting your forehead come down to the mat, towards the mat. Arms with your knees together are often more comfortable, back long by your feet. Once you've taken a couple of breaths here, maybe letting your knees go wide and finding a wide-legged child's pose. In this child's pose, you can send your arms out long in front of you, maybe forehead down on the mat, or bringing a prop, block, or a towel to place under your forehead. Just feeling this grounding nature of the shape, so much connection to your mat, knowing that everything beneath you will hold you up. Again, letting your mind settle on that mantra. I am healthy. I am grounded. Starting to come back up to a straight spine and bringing your legs out in front of you. Letting the soles of your feet come together. Letting those heels go wide from your body. We're going to do just a gentle forward fold here. So beginning to fold yourself forward. And if you want to bring a pillow or towel or both, stacking lots of things, just so that you have a place to rest your head. And if your forward fold is still way up here, just chin down. That works as well. You're still getting a stretch. Again, the right way to do a yoga shape is the way that works in your body. Not worrying about if it looks like the picture in your mind. Just listening to your body, finding that shape that works for you. Forward folds are very soothing, calming for the nervous system. So taking a few more breaths here. Maybe with each exhale, you find yourself just sinking a little lower into that shape. slowly starting to come back up. Once you get here, bringing that right sole of the foot in. Again, anywhere along that left inner thigh. And then bringing your arms up overhead, centering yourself on that straight leg. And as you exhale, coming forward, thinking about your chest coming forward, more towards your toes than down towards your leg. That may limit just how far you come down, but knowing that that's going to give you a little better stretch, a little safer stretch. Flexing your foot is going to intensify the stretch on the back of your leg. That may or may not be the desired effect for you. So being careful, listening to your body. Staying with that even 4-count inhale and exhale. Coming back up and starting to switch legs, letting your right leg go long, pulling your left leg in, sole of the foot somewhere along that right inner thigh, squaring yourself up on that straight leg, inhaling, arms up overhead, and then coming forward, noticing how this shape may be different on this side, listening to your body. Again, flexing your foot on this side, feeling that sensation down the back of your leg may or may not be what's in your plan for this stretch. These 4-count breaths really filling up your chest. And again, releasing with your exhales. This is another shape that I tend to find a little movement in more so than staying still. It's an option in most shapes that we do. Coming back up to a straight spine and gently lowering yourself down onto your mat. Again, letting your spine come all the way down, maybe letting your legs go long, or again, bending your knees, letting them tip in. Just taking a breath here, feeling that mat beneath you. Pulling your legs into your chest, rocking side to side again. And then finding happy baby, letting your elbows come on the inside of your knees, your hands going to the outside of your feet. Pulling down on your feet, trying to keep your tailbone down, maybe rocking side to side here. This is a really good release for your spine. Definitely gets into your hips as well. But the benefits to the spine, I think, are probably superior to what this does for the hips. Sending arms and legs up towards the ceiling. When you get there, shaking everything out. And then finding stillness. Just a few breaths in Sleeping Tiger. I like to find an inversion of sorts before I move into those more stiller shapes. And this is a very gentle inversion. Becomes a little more challenging the longer you stay in it. We won't stay in it too long. Letting your legs come back down, soles of the feet finding the mat. Windshield wipering your legs out one more time. And then just starting to roll to one side or the other to push yourself up to a seat. The first shape that we're going to do, the first restorative shape that we're going to do today, if you have a bolster or a firm pillow and anything that'll work for yoga blocks, the shape that I'm trying to make is this. I'm going to show you a different way to do it in a minute, but this is how I would do it if we were in the yoga studio. I'd have, oops, everything's falling. I'd have a bolster and two blocks. You'd lean up against it. So if you have things to make a shape like this, go for it. If not, we're going to do this a little differently. You can do it with two pillows. For me, these pillows, these are my thinner pillows. So folding them, I'm going to do one down the length of my spine and one under my head. I'm going to make them into like a T shape. And because I want my head to be a little higher, I want my upper body on an angle, also going to put this folded towel here. So once you get here, just lowering yourself back down onto whatever setup you have. And if you don't have any props, I would just suggest taking this shape as Shavasana, just flat on your back. For me, I like to keep my knees bent in this shape with my knees tipping in. If your spine allows, you can keep your legs long. Arms can rest by your sides, on your stomach, whatever works for you. You're going to stay in this shape for about 8 minutes. So really trying to make it comfortable. Maybe thinking about a body scan here, just starting at your feet, coming up your body, letting everything relax as you come to it. Getting all the way up towards the top of your body, letting your face soften. Just finding some stillness in your mind and your body. Coming back to your breath, that mantra, I am healthy, I am grounded. Staying here, I'll let you know when it's time to move. And when your mind starts to wander, because that's what it does, not worrying about how many times that happens, but just knowing that how many times you pull it back is what's going to count. knowing that if this shape is serving you well, you're highly encouraged to stay in it, even if it's for the rest of practice. If you're ready to move on to another shape, just removing those bolsters from underneath you. We're going to stay on our back so you don't have to come up. For this one, you just need either one of your pillows or a towel. I'm going to do a supine twist, a supported supine twist. So just bringing your right knee into your chest and starting to let it fall across your body. One way to do this shape without any props is just to stack your knees. But if you want to make it a little juicier, a little more restorative and comfy, just putting something in between your knees might be helpful. A pillow, a towel, whatever it may be. Just finding the right placement, orientation, taking a little bit of time to find this shape. Keeping both of your shoulders down on the mat. Gazing over your right shoulder. And just beginning to sink into this shape. We won't stay in this one near as long as we stayed in the other one. Just a couple of minutes on each side. Feeling those inhales move through your lungs, expanding out through your belly, your ribs, your exhales, taking you a little deeper into your twists. Feeling those thoughts in your mind start to settle. Focusing on your breath. Letting your body and your mind come back down. Beginning to unwind, coming back to center on your spine. Windshield wipering those legs just a couple of times before we find that shape on the other side. Lots of windshield wipers today. It's just such a good way to neutralize everything. Once you've evened that out, beginning to find this twist on the other side, just let both of your legs fall over towards the right. Again, maybe finding a prop to place in between your stacked knees, shoulders coming down on the mat. We often do these twists in a lot of different yoga practices, but not taking this one too deep, letting it really be a restorative shape. Gazing over that left shoulder, just letting your body relax. Again, we'll just stay here a couple of minutes. Couple more breaths here. Just exhales, letting you settle into this shape. Beginning to unwind. Again, staying on your back. This next shape we're going to do, again, we won't stay in very long. May actually be easier to sit up to get into it. It's just a gentle back bend. So placing a pillow, maybe folding it, depending on how big it is, how wide it is, and laying down across it. There's a lot of things that are going to make a difference in this shape for you. One is how firm what you have underneath you is. Another is how wide it is. It doesn't take much for most of us to feel a back bend. In all honesty, I could put this towel under my back and it's enough of a back bend for me. So being careful, not taking this too deep. Again, legs can go straight or soles of the feet can come to the mat to release your spine a little bit. Staying here for a couple of minutes before we find our last shape of Shavasana. Beginning to just roll to the side to remove that pillow blanket from your back. And if you have a wall near you, or a couch, a chair, a piece of furniture, a chair with a cat on it, as the case may be, the easiest way to get into legs up the wall or legs up a chair, which is what we're going to do for our final shape, is to really bring your hip up close to it. If you have something that you want to put underneath your head, bringing that with you as well towards the end of your mat, placing it about where you think your head will be. So again, to get into it, really bringing your hip up, one or the other, close to the wall, and then swinging your legs up and over. So up and over may be straight up the wall, or it may be over a chair. Once you get here, really sinking in, relaxing. If you're in a chair like I have, making sure your hips are not further under it than your knees. You want your hips to be either under or a little further out than your knees. Coming back to that stillness. Inhales and exhales. Taking a body scan this time, starting at the top of your body. Letting your forehead relax, your cheeks, lips, tongue, your jaw, your shoulders, upper arms, forearms, your wrists and thumbs, palms, all your fingers. Feeling your chest as it rises and falls, your belly, your hips, your thighs, your knees, lower legs, ankles, tops of your feet and your toes. Letting everything relax. And coming back to your breath and that mantra. Inhaling, I am healthy. Exhaling, I am grounded. Inhaling, I am healthy. And exhaling, I am grounded. Sending those waves of energy out around you with each inhale and each exhale. Staying here with that singular focus until I call you out. For the last minute of Shavasana, thinking about sending those thoughts of health and grounding out to everyone in your house, in your neighborhood, in our city, our state, our country, our world. Inhaling, I am healthy. Exhaling, I am grounded for everyone. Beginning to bring movement back into your fingers, your toes, noticing your breath as your chest rises and falls. Starting to pull your knees into your chest, rocking side to side if that feels good. And then finding your way onto your favorite side. Once you get there, staying there for a moment, using this as a reset. Taking that health and grounding, holding it close, seeing what it can do, not only for you, but for the other people in your life. Maybe finding some gratitude for the health that you do have, for the health that the people around you have. Letting that gratitude radiate out. Coming up to a seat, taking your time. Once you get there, keeping your eyes closed, and just for a moment, imagining the other people who've done or doing this practice, or the people who will do it in the future. Imagining all of them doing the same practice that you have done, feeling that connection across the distance, letting yoga form a connection, something that can bring us together just for a little bit. As always, I'll close this practice with an Om. It's a vibration said to be the sound of oneness, healing, connection, community. You'll only hear mine and maybe your own, but the vibrations will be there no matter what. So just taking an inhale, an exhale, and then inhaling for the Om. Letting your eyes open. I send you out with my hopes for your health, for your grounding. The light in me sees the same light in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. If you're a teacher at one of my children's schools, an extra thank you. If you're a teacher anywhere, thank you, thank you. That's how these videos got started. So feel free to share this with anyone you'd like, and you can get in touch with me via social media if you have any feedback for me.